In last week's episode, I was joined by former Williams High School player Alex G., who was a teammate of Harry's. Alex and I talked about the week after Harry passed away, and the miraculous finish to the game on that Friday night. This week, Alex and I will talk about things went badly in the weeks that followed, but how the team came together to find a way into the playoffs and then find a way again to an incredible upset in the first round of the playoffs against the number one team. And then after the game, or the weekend after the game, we have the service. And I can remember the two things I remember about, the whole with the service. One, how many players from other teams
in their jerseys, school buses pulling up. It was, I think the furthest was, it was Jody Fuller played for him in Charlotte. It was a Charlotte school, came, to Mebane. It was very touching.
Yeah, it was. And the number of, and in the weeks that followed, I got cards and photographs and pictures sent to me of all the football fields, so many of them around the state that they put the 5 in black and gold on their 5-yard lines. And the other thing I remember just vividly, and the only other thing I can remember is the bus ride through Burlington. All the
it was like the president had come through town.
All the people lined up on the streets. Just an amazing tribute to Harry. So after that Graham game, Christian got hurt.
Yep.
And now it's like find the quarterback, and things went really, really badly.
Coach, we ran the I formation.
Yeah.
At one point.
Just so we could hand it off, I remember.
Just so we could survive.
Yeah. So we could get a handoff without turning it over. I think this went on for maybe 4 games where
it was a while.
It was just horrible. So with everything you already had, and now you've got the football going really, really bad. How do y'all get through that?
Again, you think we just do it, and that's a credit to you guys. You keep showing up. We were used to losing, right? So it very easily could have just slid. We should have lost every game.
And my greatest fear was that was exactly what was going on.
Realistically, that should have happened. We didn't know how to win. We tasted it, but you guys continued to impose on us no, we're still going to do this thing. And we really, I think, took to heart to expect to win, find a way. We truly embodied that mantra. Even when we were losing, we still kept at it. We carried Harry's jersey with us everywhere we went, carried it to the coin toss. And when things got bleak, we still, tried to embody that. Look, personally, you may or may not remember this well. I obviously remember very well, but I broke my hand against.
I do remember you breaking your hand.
Northern Guilford.
Yes.
And Sam Pittman.
Yes, I remember that Sam was there.
University of North Carolina, and he was there. He said he came to watch me too, but he was really to watch TJ Logan, to being honest. But I was still kind of in that hey, I'm trying to earn something here, and I broke my hand. I just remember being incredibly frustrated.
I remember how frustrated you were.
Spiked my helmet.
Yeah, I remember that as well. I think I remember you got your butt.
First and only time you ever yelled at me, Coach. It's the first and only time, and I didn't do it again. Damn sure I did not do that again. But look, I remember going to see Dr. Barnes, who was our team doctor and orthopedic surgeon in Alamance, and I was in there with my dad and we did the radio, and they called it like a piano fracture. So your bone had, basically
Mm-hmm.
popped up and pressed down and come
Right.
back. And he laid it out. He's like, look, this is probably a surgery repair in which you won't play again. Or I'll do you this. You can come in and see me every Saturday morning. I'll recast it, re-X-ray, and as long as it doesn't break, you can still play. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I've told you this before. Like, there was a lot weighing on my mind there to shut it down. Like, we were struggling.
Yeah.
The emotions of it. I had a future playing ball. Like, that was my last game was not going to be
Right.
the day I broke my hand.
Right.
But I give a lot of credit to you guys still. Like, what we had built, my buddies, like, I didn't want to do that. So I played 5 or 6 weeks with a cast. Finally was able to play with a soft cast late in the season. But I think a lot of that just came from the mindset that everybody had around us of, no, like, we're just going to nose down and we're going to be old school here and we're going to grind through this. And boy, if we didn't come out on the other side, Coach, I mean, holy smokes.
Yeah. So what do you think actually turned that around? Was there game, play, something that happened? What do you think? Because there was a change.
Yeah, when Malik went back and played quarterback, and we kind of went to the, I'm not going to say the F it offense, but it almost felt like it. Like, we're going to put a guy back there that can get us out of trouble. I remember we brought Jalen Jeffries up to play running back, who ended up being heavily recruited by Old Dominion. That's a different story that I'm sure you don't want to tell on this podcast.
No,
way.
no.
But
we'll save that one for.
He was a fantastic player, young guy, and we had a shift. I'm curious what you think as the coach of the team, where we started the season, a lot of guys playing both ways on the offensive and defensive line. We kind of got away from that. And we started just having an offensive line, just having a defensive line. We were fresh. But I really do remember Malik going back there and just freestyling a little bit and making plays that Harry was making,
Yeah.
And that gave us a glimmer of hope.
Yeah.
It really.
That was kind of my thinking. That a great deal of it, obviously, with the coaches, was a lot of it did have to do with Malik Grice, who had been a receiver and a DB for us, and great athlete. Probably Harry's favorite target, and we just decided, to give him a shot at quarterback. He's such a great athlete, and he wasn't going to be the greatest in the world in reading defenses and pass coverages and all that kind of stuff because he's trying to learn on the fly. And I think once Malik began to believe in himself as a quarterback, because he wasn't real sure about that was something that he could do. And I think once he began to feel comfortable and get confidence in himself, then things began to roll for us. We could still run the counter. Malik could throw the ball. Malik could get it, as you said, get out of trouble when we got into trouble. And that's one of the things that I always liked about having a really good athlete back there at quarterback was they can save you sometimes when things just go horribly bad. And so I agree with you. Malik had a lot to do with that, but I think there's still a lot on y'all's side into supporting Malik. And Malik's got this, and yes, we believe in Malik the same way we believed in Harry. That making we found that's the way we found.
That's what it was.
And then so we win the games down the stretch and we get into the playoffs. We're the last team.
The last
team.
32 technically.
Yes. We squeak in. We're the last team in. And of course, when you're the last team in, you have to go play the number one team. And we have to travel to Northeast Guilford and they are undefeated, and they're the number 1 seed, and nobody gives us a snowball's chance
They
in
were
hell.
selling tickets for the next week at the
Yes,
gate.
they were. They were
Yeah,
selling
2-for-1
tickets
special.
for the second round
Hmm.
at the gate, which made our people furious.
My dad talks about it to this day.
I know he does. Kim Steele does. The whole Burlington community is still mad about it. And I think, if I remember right, we even told y'all that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was part of your pregame talk, Coach.
Yeah,
We were
because I was
fired
pretty
up. We
fired
were
up
ready.
about it
Yep.
myself, as
Yep.
you can,
Yep.
as you can imagine. So yeah, they're that favored. Um, but this is one time where we talked earlier about, I think maybe offline, about what the coaches believed, and I always went in thinking, hey, we can win. Every game I ever coached, we can win. Now, that didn't mean the rest of the coaching staff always agree with me. They're like, Jesus, you're crazy. But, I go, no, we can win. Why the hell we come for practice then? Why are we doing all this work? We can win. And I felt like we could win, except the coaching staff is with me on this one, because Coach Grant, Dave Grant, the defensive coordinator, said, look, Coach, we played them before, and their personnel may be a little different, but they're going to do what they've done. And I think I know a way to slow them down, and I've got a good plan. And I went, that's good, because Dave's not like that.
Nope.
Dave's not yeah, we're going to get this.
Mm-mm.
Dave's a very cautious guy. And that made me feel better. And, I thought there were some things we could do offensively. And then we got to the game, and
they jumped all over us.
Yeah.
That's what I remember. I remember I think it was 14-zip, and they were driving. You called timeout and got after the defense.
I did.
And
I was probably
think it was
nasty.
I think they might have had the ball inside the 25.
They did.
And they scored, and that was late first quarter.
Yeah.
They scored once the rest of the game.
Yeah, because I knew if they scored on that third one and went up 21, it's over.
Yeah. They're a triple option team. They're going to soak it. Like
And then the thing that amazed me most about our comeback is not just that we made a comeback, but how much we got away from, we ran our regular stuff, the option, the counter, threw the ball. But the first time we got in short yardage and we went to our short yardage tractor play, we crushed them.
Rolled them.
Exactly. They had no...
Run it again.
And we ran it, and then we go back to our regular offense, and then we ran it, and then we ran it, and then it was like we were out at midfield on 1st and 10.
Run it again.
Run it again. And they couldn't stop it.
Which is incredible. Now that I know more about football than I did as a player, all we did was block down.
Yeah.
And the fullback kicked out. Like, it's
block
the
down,
simplest thing.
Hey,
That's all it was.
Hey.
And they had no answer.
No, well, to me, block down, kick out.
That's just ball, Coach.
Is what the game's about.
That's just ball.
That's why in the other stuff, we run, we block down, we kick out, and we read somebody. Well, in tractor, we ain't reading nobody. We're handing that sucker off, and here we come. And part of it was they had a corner up on the edge, and we had a 300-pound fullback coming right at him, and he was just
220-pound running back. Here we go. Yep.
And so we end up tied, and we go to overtime. They score. We go down. We line up in tractor. And
was it the best play call of your life?
Which one?
It's
the one we scored or the
the
2-pointer?
one with well, maybe as a combo because
As a
it's
combo,
pretty damn good,
it was
Coach.
pretty damn
It's
good.
yep
So the first one we did on first down, we ran the
from the 10.
bootleg off the short
Hmm.
short yardage play, and Malik walked into the end zone.
There's nobody within
No,
15 yards
just
of him, and we were on the
walked in
10-yard
because
line.
we've been running this
Yeah.
bad boy right at him over and
Mhm.
over and over. We're not even switching sides. We just
Going right.
going right, just going right. And first down from the 10 in overtime, he takes it and boots in the end zone. And then I'm thinking, overtime. Are we going to kick? I'm thinking kick. And in my ear, Kyle Hayes is up in the press box. He's going tractor, 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 tractor. And I'll get tractor.
Yep.
And
I remember we were so effing pumped up for you to do that.
That was part of why we ran it, and just let's put it on the line. Let's let the players win the game, because I knew how y'all would be about it.
Like Avery Harris scored the 2-point.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have mattered if we blocked anybody.
No,
I think he was getting in anyway.
Oh,
he would have gone 1-on-11.
That great picture. There's that great picture of
diving
him
over. He didn't need to
up
dive
in the air.
Just
diving into the end zone. He did not need to dive. There was a nice hole there,
Great.
And the place went wild.
Awesome.
Nobody could believe that the last seed beat the first seed, and we had lined up and hit them in the mouth to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And just incredible. And the biggest thing I can remember, other than scoring, is the entire sideline. And it was packed on our sideline. It was packed. And the entire sideline, all the people in the stands, up on their feet. And everybody would holding up 5 and just chanting, find a way, find a way, find a way, find a way. It was just incredible. It's high school football.
It's the best.
Kind of about. It's the best.
Harry's stepdad, Richard, was on the other side of the fence. He was over the fence before the ball crossed the goal line. I mean, it was great.
Richard knew we were scoring.
Heck yeah, he did. The stadium knew we were scoring. They weren't.
I think the Northeast Guilford side knew
they were done. They had their headsets off, Coach. It was over.
We had it. Let's take a look at that winning 2-point play from Avery Harris, running tractor behind fullback William Steele. Next week, we'll finish the Find a Way series as we talk about yet another upset win in the playoffs. And we talk about the rest of Harry Cohen's legacy. I hope you'll join us then.